In the land where I was born, lived a man who sailed the sea. I sort of centered there. And he told me of his life in a yellow submarine. This is a guitar, just in case you were wondering what I'm doing. Just so you know. We all live in a yellow submarine. A yellow submarine. A yellow submarine. Imagine if all birds just flew through window then like Snow White. That'd have been, I mean, it wouldn't have been great actually. I think if you have a bird in your house, like a wild bird comes in, then it just absolutely ruins your house, doesn't it? Hello everybody. Today I am the Beatles. That is John, Ringo, Paul. I don't know what the one's called. I should have really looked this up before I did that intro, shouldn't I? I'll remember it. Like, I'm sure everybody, is it like, can't be Ben. Ben sounds like too like modern of a name to me. Well, I suppose like Benjamin in. I don't know what his name was. There were Paul, John, Ringo, and then another one. Were Ringo the one that did drums, or was that the other one? You'd think that I'd have come prepared, but I didn't. You can see my moves in this today, so about that. I'm currently, so this is like completely off subject, but I've like bought myself a pair of like baggier jeans than usual. They're not like properly baggy, but they're not like my skinny jeans, because I always rub the arse out on my skinny jeans. So I thought, right, I'm gonna get some baggier ones, and then like when my legs rub together, it will like rub the material away. So I'll let you know, I'll get on with that. But like usually I wear baggy tops, but because like the jeans are baggy, I don't want to then wear a baggy top because then I look like a big square. So I've been trying to wear like tighter tops, but it's highlighting the fact that I have developed a pair of huge tits. Ooh, there's a baby crying outside. You alright? So the reason why the song was so fitting today is because I am finally going to talk to you all about my time working on board cruise ships. I mean, all my friends know about it because, like, I mean, to be fair, like, sometimes I'm like, oh, do I talk about it too much? But it was a large part of my life, and, like, obviously, you know, when you kind of talk about, like, similar experiences and stuff with your mates, like, a lot of experiences that I've had were, like, whilst I was working on there, because I worked on there for a long time. So yes, I thought today I'd finally do a video, give you all what you so desperately wanted. Oh, that just popped straight out, like shot out. Nearly got all of my white t-shirts. I'm using the Maybelline today because I found her, unfortunately. I do feel bad if I don't use shit, so here we go. But yeah, the one that I did before, it was more about like performing in general and like bad stuff that had happened to me during that. Whereas this one's going to be all about kind of the fun times that I had on the ships. Oh, actually, I'm going to say this now as well. So if you do enjoy like what you watched today, then please give me a like, subscribe, a comment, just anything really that you could, because I'd love to like grow this channel, and that would be very nice. So please do that for me. Thank you very much, and thank you, please. I'll probably say it at the end as well. Just to really beg it, you know. I worked on ships. I'm not gonna like mention the specific like lines that I worked on and stuff and like companies, just because like, I don't know, like, I don't really think it's very important, and also like there's no like bad stories, but I'm sure like it's not like super professional, is it, to kind of mention them, is their name, like, when I'm going to talk to you about getting pissed and stuff. This foundation is far too light for my face. I'm aware of it. I know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing something. It's so patchy. I wonder if the reason why I don't like this foundation is actually because it's too pale, and that makes me think it's like chalky. Maybe I've been like talking shit about this for ages and it's actually not the foundation that's the issue. Maybe it's my colour matching. Ooh, that hurts on my ear. So my ear's still bad, by the way. That's another thing. Sorry, I will get round to the stories. Somebody just did a huge sneeze outside. My ear's still really sore. But I have now got antibiotics, so that's good news. So hopefully soon this one won't feel like it's underwater, and that'll be nice. Hearing such a gift, so like, you know, really treasure it, because you never know. You never know when the last moment that you could hear will be. I know I'm being dramatic, and hopefully it will come back. But then I'm like, what if it don't come back? Like, what if it don't? And I'm just like, oh, I'm being overly dramatic, and then like, it just never comes back. What if it's never the same again? We'll see. But yeah, so I worked on cruise ships, I'd say for about like 2 years, maybe a little bit more, maybe like, I think maybe 3 years actually, which like was enough for me. Not like in a bad way, like obviously don't, you know, I had a really good time, I loved it, but it is like, it's exceedingly hard to kind of be in that environment like for a very, very long period of your life, because, you know, you are away from your family, you miss a lot of like things that are going on. And like I did find when I came back, often like I'd feel like all my friends were like kind of doing things in their lives that that like I wasn't like necessarily jealous of, because obviously I was on like my own different path. But you know, when kind of you come back and you're very aware that you and your friends aren't kind of on the same page at times because they have different experiences, which is always the same, I guess. Yes, that's why I kind of did like 3 years on them. And I remember when I were at college as well, one of our teachers said that I think she only did like 1 contract on a ship, and then she decided to teach. And I remember thinking at the time, I was like, oh, like, why did she get off the ship so quick? Like, didn't she want to dance like on stages for a longer time? But then like when you're actually in that position, you realise how kind of like draining and taxing it actually is, just to kind of be away from your family and stuff. Obviously, I guess like it does depend on what sort of relationship you have with your family, but that also like extends to your friends and like your friendship circles and stuff. So like they obviously like are classed as family as well, really, in this situation. And also like when I came off the ship, I was like, I wanted to kind of like find love and stuff, which like it still took me a long time after I came off the ship. Because I had issues. For me, it did stop me from having what I perceived as a normal sort of life. First thing that I'm going to talk about, now that I've stopped rambling, is about ship romances. I'm sure, like, you can probably imagine. So I know, like, I've seen a lot of, so I watch, like, a lot of and stuff like that. And they always say, like, that in retail and stuff, kind of the romances within that space are, like, very, very extreme, and you know, like people like are all basically shagging, having a great time with each other. I've never experienced that when I've worked in retail, but to be fair, I have usually been like the only male in like an entirely female workplace, and I'm a homosexual. I don't know if you knew that. So the ship romance thing is like so thick and fast when you're there. Like everybody is just like trying to get into relationships with each other, and like I did really notice as well, quite often for like the female performers, especially the dancers, they were often kind of used as like, sorry, there's my unshaven leg. They're often kind of seen as being like a trophy, which isn't obviously ideal, because nobody is a trophy or like an item. So that's a bit shit. Basically, if somebody's kind of at a higher level in kind of the hierarchy of a department on a ship, so you know, you've got kind of like the hotel side of things, you've got the cleaning side of things, then you've got the running of the ship, then you've got like the engine staff and stuff. Like, so if you're higher up in those specific departments, then you would be called an officer. And officers often like have better rooms, they'll usually have like rooms with like a view of the sea and stuff, so like with proper windows. Sorry, there's my hair leak again. They will often kind of use that, will the officers, to to kind of like sell themselves to the more attractive, conventionally women on the ship. I often found, like, when I was on them, that people who I was working with who were like stunningly beautiful, like conventionally attractive like women, with really nice personalities, who were like a lot of fun, like really just like had everything going for them really, like as far as you could see. They would like end up with these people who were like kind of a little bit questionable in terms of their views and things. So in terms of like gender roles and like there was a lot of homophobia I found on the ships, like people, you know, just kind of like using slurs and things, which was upsetting. And like you find that like your friends who, you know, like are really like good allies in general will then be with like these men that are not great people. I'm using this new like liquid highlighter that I got in that prize, by the way. It's an Illamasqua one. It's called Beyond Liquid Highlighter, and this is in the colour Days. I really do like it actually. I think I'm going to use my finger for it. Yeah, I think I like this. Is this going to be too much highlighter? Do I even care if it is? No. When you're on the ships, there's often like this kind of idea of being like a shipwife, they call it. So basically this is when usually like a male staff member will have a wife at home, and they will then come onto the ship and have a like long-term relationship with somebody on the ship whilst they're on the contract together, and they will then kind of take over that role of kind of like being the wife. And that's really shit in my opinion. So, and the thing is, so I know like, obviously, you know, I'm not like brand new. I know that open relationships are a thing and that's cool, but often like this isn't a case of an open relationship. This is a case of like a person cheating on their significant other at home who like isn't aware of it, so like doesn't have any say in it, you know, their autonomy is kind of taken away. The thing is as well, when you are on the ship, you fall like madly in love straight away because it's not like a normal relationship, you know, like you'd go on a date usually in real life, wouldn't you, and then you like might not see him again for a week, whereas on the ship you go on the date, then like you see him again the following day because like you'll see them in the dining area or like whilst you're just walking around, and then you'll probably like see him again that same night, and then like by the end of the week you're like sleeping over at each other's like rooms and you've got like toothbrushes there. But then on the other side of things, so ship romances can also be really, really nice. So for example, my dance captain on the ship, she went out with our like vocal coach on the captain, I think they call them. So like the version of a dance captain, is it vocal captain? I'm not sure. Like done the same contracts as each other. They'd like met years ago. They're now married and they like have their own business and stuff, doing shows and things. And like that's really, really good. Like they obviously met in kind of like their youth, and then they like travelled the world together, and now they've like settled down together. And that's lovely. So it can really work, can a ship relationship? And I know like the first things that I was saying were like very, very negative. But like that's just, often it is that kind of negative experience. Like I had a ship relationship with a guy who was just like so cruel to me. He basically said to me that like, oh, I like you're fat and stuff. And like he knew that I had like, I mean, I still have like body dysmorphia and like body confidence issues. So like he really kind of, he was very manipulative. And like he played a lot of mind games with me and things, and that was really bad. But I don't think, I mean, as far as I know, I mean, I never found out otherwise, he didn't have a partner at home or anything. Like he was just a general dickhead that I could have met like anywhere in the world. And I do tend to really attract that type of man. Look, I'm very lucky at the moment, like, because my partner is a lovely human. But another thing that is very, very, well, it was very big in my kind of life working on ships, is like the sense of like family that you kind of have, especially with your work colleagues. It's just really nice because you do feel like you kind of have a little like family unit going on. Like the guy and the girl who I was saying like were in the relationship that now like are married and things, they were very much like the mum and dad of the group, you know, like they looked after us all, they really like made sure that we were all okay and stuff. You might just like not really gel with somebody, or like you might not be feeling somebody that day. And that's all fine because like that's pretty normal, I think, in any life and also like in any family really, and like friendship circle. The bonding that you get with the people that you work with is kind of like nothing that I'd really like experienced before in a workplace, because usually, you know, similar to the relationships thing actually. You like go home and then like you don't maybe see your colleagues like until a couple of days down the line at work or whatever. Whereas on the ship it's very like you spend the full day together, then you go and work together, then you know you might go to the bar together. Oh, I need to talk to you about the crew bar actually as well, that's a good one. And then like you like wake up the following morning and then you just repeat that cycle again, do you know what I mean? Oh, his name's George. George. So there's Ringo, Paul, George. Did I have the other one before? Have I already said George? I've forgotten one of them again. Ringo, Paul, George, John Lennon. Yeah, so I'm the Beatles, just I'm the Beatles, so that's Ringo, Paul, George and John. Eyebrows are not like the easiest thing in the world, are they? Do they look okay? They're not even slightly even, are they, those? That's not great. Fuck me. I think I've got a wonky face, you know, like... I think there's something going on with me. Do they look any better? If I do that with that one. You know what, once I've got my eyelashes on and that, nobody will even be able to see them. So, on a ship, like, it's very, like, driven home to you that you're not allowed to drink more than... I don't know how many units it is. I think it's like 1 unit a night that you could potentially have, because like sometimes they will breathalyse you, and if it's above like a certain amount, then like they're well within the rights to kick you off of the ship, because basically like if you work on there then you're like responsible for the passengers in some way. So like everybody has to like play their part in the health and safety side of things, and obviously like if you're on a big floating ship in the middle of the fucking water, like it could potentially go down, couldn't it? So you have to kind of be like on par, like ready to go, you know, ready to save the day at any time. However, they will do these crew nights. So like, you know, there'll be a night for like an Independence Day, for example. And what they'll do is they'll give you like free drinks tokens for the crew bar or like wherever they're holding it. And the drink that they give you so they'll give you like an option of like beer, or like vodka, and I think that's it actually. So it's usually like beer or vodka, and like beer gets me pissed anyway, like that's what I drink when I go out because it's cheap and it gets me pissed. Or they will give you the vodka, and the vodka that they give you I'm pretty sure is like what they clean the fucking engine with. I've had nights in that crew bar where like I don't know how I got home like to my room, and there was one night as well where like I was convinced, to be fair actually, everybody got so drunk that night, and I remember, so like I woke up the following morning and I was just like, right, I'm gonna go out my door, I'm gonna go to the crew like mess area where you eat, and somebody's gonna like come to me and be like, right, we need to take you to the captain, we're gonna have to like get you off the ship because like you were too drunk last night, like everybody knew how drunk you were, sort of thing. Everybody was in the same position. Like I walked into that dining room and everybody was like sat with like sunglasses on, everybody was like had their heads hanging, like had a big drink in front of them and stuff. Everybody's eyes were bloodshot, and I thought maybe I won't get fired because they can't fire us all. Like I was stood in the shower and I was like, right, when I go through that door, that's me, it's me out. I need to say bye to my mates, let them know, you know, no hard feelings for getting me so pissed. And I'm gonna go. I mean, I probably got them pissed as well. We all got each other pissed. I feel like the rules, like in terms of what you can have in your system and stuff, compared to like what they then give you and like how drunk they actually get you, it's like it's night and day, innit? It's two very different things, two different stories that are being told. There's been times as well where I've been like so drunk on the ship, and then like I've just been like stood up on the top deck, like because the party would have been there or whatever, and I've just been like looking out into the sea like and thinking like, if, because you know I'm obviously a bit wavy and it might be a bit of a choppy day, and I thought, imagine like if I just went overboard now, like it's quite scary. That's probably why you're not meant to have as much in your system as like we all absolutely did. But yeah, I mean, I didn't die, I'm here, so much like Sia, I'm alive. Do you like how I'm like trying to, so basically I'm trying to like have a redo of the makeup that I did last week because it looked shit in all the pictures, so I'm trying to like kind of do a better version of that. So I don't know what people think, but like if you do work on a ship, you're not sleeping in a room like the passengers' rooms, you're sleeping like below deck. Our room, like my room, never had a window or anything. So like, that sounds like heaven to some people though, I think, but it doesn't to me, because like I really don't like not being able to kind of see when I open my eyes when I'm sleeping. But I know some people do enjoy that, so you know, good for them, but not me. Yeah, it used to just be like pitch black, and then like you'd have like the constant droning noise of the engine and stuff, and like the rocking and stuff as well. So you never really get a good night's sleep, and it's not the nicest environment, if I'm honest. And the toilets are always like, there's always something wrong with the toilets on them as well. I don't know why. I think it's just because like, it's kind of like years and years of usage on them. Like some of these ships are very, very old. And then, you know, you kind of like, you're using a toilet that like they can't take all the plumbing out, because then the ship would have to go into dry dock and not make any money. So it's just much easier for them to kind of like fix things as they go. That then means that you kind of like end up with like lots of little tiny issues that kind of like all add up and make the toilet and plumbing situation really, really shit. So I like shared with this guy in the first contract. I won't say his name, but if he watches this, he knows who he fucking is. And basically, when you get your training, they say to you, right, you can use like the 3 Ps in the toilet. So pee, poo and paper, as in toilet paper. So I was like, cool, job's a good one. Obviously, like, I'm not gonna put all else down there. Like, what am I gonna put down there? I mean, I guess like maybe like face wipes and stuff people would be fuming at, but I wouldn't do that anyway. I would just put that in the bin, because I'm not a fucking psychopath. Also, like the house that I grew up in had a septic tank. So like, I don't know not to do that, because like it'd block up the septic tank if we did, and then my dad would be fuming because he'd be like, down there with his fucking coat, I'm gonna try and to get it out, you know, getting covered in shit, bless him. So basically my roommate, like our toilet was constantly fucking blocked, and he decided that it was because we were putting paper down it. And I was like, if it is because we're putting paper down it, then I'm happy to block the toilet every time, because his solution was to throw the like dirty toilet paper into the bin in the bathroom, and then it stunk, like the fucking room stunk. And he was like, why have you put toilet down? Like, why aren't you putting it into the bin? And I was like, because the room fucking stinks, mate. That's why I've not done it. Oh, and he was just such an arsehole about it. And I just remember thinking, like, if I come home and it fucking stinks in there again, I'm like, I can't handle it anymore. But luckily, he was only there for a very short period. And I remember at one point he was like considering staying for longer. And I was like, oh, you know, but like, do you really want to, like, don't you want to go home and see your family for a bit? And I was like, please get the fuck out of here, because I can't deal with this shitty toilet paper. I don't want to go into that bathroom for a little glamorising session, only to be greeted with the smell of fucking feces. Safe to say we didn't really keep in touch. So once I was like, so you have to do like duties often when you kind of are one of the entertainers, because like they like to feel like they're getting the money's worth out of you, I guess. So one of our duties on my first ship was to kind of like, when people were going on excursions, we'd go and like stand in the theatre and like get people into their groups, and then we'd kind of like guide them off. So like we'd stand like on the stairwell and we'd be like, this way. So that was all like fine. And then this one time, this was on the one in China, this woman like came to me and she was like shouting at me, and I was like, what's wrong? I was like, because obviously like I didn't have like the capability to like really understand what was going on. I was like, is everything okay? What's wrong? And she was like holding her bum, and she was like, WC, WC, and I was like, oh, she means like the bathroom, the toilet. So I was like, oh, it's over that way. And then she like ran away, and then like afterwards I was like, oh my god, she was like having explosive diarrhea, and like I didn't know what was going on because like I panicked and stressed, and she was shitting herself into her hands whilst asking me where the toilet was. And I was like, you alright? What's wrong? You okay? What a dickhead. More stressful for her though, I imagine, than it was for me. And it feels like I'm about to go insane and I can't get enough because I want to get it up. Oh, looks like I want now. You'd better be scared what I want now. I'm going to hit reverse on you. Let's get it blazing. We could turn the heat up if you want to. Turn the lights down low if you want to. Just want to move you, put your pumps up. That's what I'm saying. Let me break the ice. And I'm here to get you right. Baby, I can make you feel. I didn't put any highlighter on. I put the original highlighter on and then I didn't put any others. Shit, I haven't even got any around my lips. How will I possibly look like I've got a sweaty upper lip now? Livid. Absolutely bloody livid I am. Where have you been, bitch? Where the bloody hell have you been? Oh, I'm a gorgeous lady. You see, that just makes all the difference for me. A little bit of highlighter. That went straight behind me. Now I'm gonna go put a wig on. Something happening there, isn't there? Maybe I need to push this further back. Is that alright? I don't think that is alright. Do this. Don't like Lara Croft. Why did I bother to contour my forehead when I was gonna put a fringe on? That's a good question. Right, well, maybe I should do a bit of this. No. I don't know if I like that. For somebody who's not like a huge fan of Lady Gaga, I certainly end up styling myself a lot like her, don't I? It's because I'm a big fan of Madonna. Oh, it was a stressful one today with this. So that's me. So I'm all like in my drag, I'm ready to take it all off again. That was like my little story time about kind of being on the ships and like, it wasn't really a story time, were it? I mean, I did talk a little bit about stuff that happened to me, but just like a general overview. I mean, maybe if you do want to like go on them, maybe this will like help you to decide whether or not it is for you. I certainly enjoyed my time on them, but I do think it's like, it's very finite, like you can't do it forever, or at least I couldn't. And I would say like, you know, do it if you get the chance, because what's the worst that's gonna happen? Like you'll just have like 10 months that like isn't great, and then you can come off of it and you'll still have some stories, so that's cool. But yeah, I really hope that you did enjoy this video. As always, if you did, like I said at the start, I'm begging you again. Yeah, if you did, then please like, subscribe, comment and share with your friends too. And all my social media will be on the end as well. It is just Dominoe Official on everything. Please follow me on TikTok, that's the main one now. And also on Instagram. And as I said, I do have Twitter, but it's Dominoe Official 1, so like Dominoe Official. You know that, like I've spoken to you about it before. But yeah, if you do want to follow me on there as well, then, you know, that's where to find me. I don't really post on there super loads, but maybe I will one day, who knows. But yeah, until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye!